This is an excerpt from around chapter 6. It goes back to 1819. The Wilsons ventured into the woods of Missouri. The cattle were ready to graze, the children hungry too. There was just enough daylight left to go into the woods for lumber to build a fire with. Enos went into the woods to gather wood, and after he had an armload, leaving out, he encountered with the black bear. The bear stood 9 feet tall on his hind legs and gave a chilling roar. Enos held his logs tight and stood there, staring into the bear's open mouth as the bear came closer. A shot from the distance was fired, and the bear dropped to the ground. 3 men came out of the shadowed trees, running up to Enos and the bear. Enos thanked the men and invited them to camp. They introduced themselves at the camp as John James and Frank McClelland from Tennessee. Enos sat on a log and wrote these events and the brothers' names down in his journal. The brothers camped the night there with the Wilson family, swapping liquor and telling tales into the night, and then the camp was quiet except for a few lowing cows. At sunrise the next morning, each Wilson man introduces himself to the McClellands as the Tennessee men skin the bear for the hide and allow the Wilsons to have the meat. One by one they shake hands and give their names: Enos Wilson, Silas Wilson, Albert Wilson, Thomas Wilson, and Andrew Wilson. The Wilson families move on along the Missouri River. Enos' wife, Ethel, is 6 months pregnant with the first child, and the rough ride in the covered wagon makes her sick. Ethel goes into some brushes to squat and pee. But as she gets up, she sees a little Negro boy, maybe 9 years old. The boy is frightened and takes off running, but falls and gets hurt. Enos gets the Negro boy into the wagon, and Ethel doctors his leg. "Where are you from, boy? What are you doing out here?" asks Ethel. "What is your name?" Ethel continues. "It's Tony, ma'am." "Please don't turn me in, missus. I was trying to get to my family," pleads Tony. "Whom do you run away from, Tony?" asks Ethel. "Mr. Coy, ma'am. But he isn't waiting to get back," exclaims Tony. "We'll get you across the river, Tony. You can't be seen out here, though. I've seen with my eyes what they do to runaways," replies Ethel. Ethel gives Tony a bean sack with bear meat and half loaf of bread. Enos sets Tony on the back of his horse and takes Tony across and lets him down. 2 Negro men came out from hiding and took Tony with them. Enos waves to his family and shouts for them to move upstream, and he would meet them around the bend of the river bank. Once back across with his brothers, they move on 15 miles further away from the runaway Negroes. Enos rests up against a tree and writes more passages into his journal. It's 1819, on the 31st day of August. It's near 3 o'clock in the evening. Let's press on. We can't get to the edge of Kansas by 11 o'clock. As they pass under hanging branches from trees, a snake falls into the wagon. The women scream and scamper up to the front, opening of the wagon, making the driver stop so they could get out. Thomas Wilson gives his horse to the back of the wagon and shoots the snake with his pistol. Thomas dismounts and gets the snake out of the wagon and skins it, then puts it in his saddlebag to cook later. The Wilsons made better timing getting to Kansas than they expected. They settled the night around 10 o'clock. There was no fire or music tonight. They were tuckered out.